Ex-PetroSaudi International chief Tarek Obaid has continued his legal challenge of the US's authority to forfeit assets he allegedly bought using 1MDB-linked funds. According to Bloomberg, Obaid is heading to court to argue that a LA-based federal judge doesn't have jurisdiction to order the seizure of his shares in Palantir Technologies, said to have been acquired using 1MDB monies. Obaid, who holds dual Saudi and Swiss citizenships, is claiming the civil forfeiture charges are invalid as he was not a citizen or resident of the US. The outcome of Obaid's challenge will be closely watched by fugitive low-tech Joe and Riza Aziz, stepson of ex-PM Datuk Sri Najib Razak. Both are fighting the US Department of Justice's attempts to seize their properties in London. The US has so far seized or is moving to seize over $1.7 billion in property, luxury goods and jewellery, all alleged to have been bought with 1MDB's dirty money. To recap, of the $1 billion 1MDB initially invested in the JV with PetroSaudi, $700 million immediately disappeared into an account controlled by Loh, the DOJ claims. For his part, Obaid was said to have received $153 million of the diverted money. Sime Darby is acquiring 3 luxury car dealerships in Sydney, Australia, representing the BMW, Mini, Volkswagen, Jaguar and Land Rover marques for 112 million Aussie dollars or 321 million ringgit. In a boss filing, Syme said the purchase would help strengthen its presence in the Oz luxury car market. Syme explained that the proposed acquisition involves the purchase of business assets and properties of the 3 luxury car dealerships from Inchcape, Australia's automotive retail unit Trevette. The agreements were entered into by Syme's unit, Sime Darby Motors and Trevette on September 10th. Syme said that the proposed deal would also strengthen SD Motors' presence and brand visibility in Parramatta, which it said is one of Sydney's most recognised automotive retail locations. The deal is expected to be completed by early December, subject to approvals from the relevant authorities and the brand principals. Tadmax Resources has received government approval to proceed with the development of a 1,000 to 1,200 megawatt combined cycle gas and turbine power plant in Pulau Indah. In a filing to Bursa Malaysia, Tadmax said its subsidiary Tadmax Indah Power had received a letter from the Energy Commission notifying that the government had agreed on August 29th for the project to proceed. Earlier, there had been reports that the project had been shelved as Putrajaya was taking a hard look at its slate of infrastructure projects given the 1 trillion ringgit debt it was carrying from the previous administration. However, Tadmax had denied the contract had been scrapped. Tadmax shares have been trading up at 31 cent before being suspended in late afternoon trade. Trading will resume tomorrow. It should be noted that there had been concerns over the lack of transparency in Tadmax's IPP contract, which had been awarded directly by the previous BN government. Former Malaysian Merchant Marine Deputy EC Datuk Ramesh Raju was today found guilty of insider trading. Ramesh was sentenced to 5 years in jail and fined 9 million ringgit by the Sessions Court, said the Securities Commission in a statement. The SC said Judge Azman Ahmad had convicted Ramesh on all charges but allowed a stay of his jail sentence pending an appeal. However, the judge ordered the 9 million ringgit fine to be paid by today, failing which Ramesh must serve a default 9-year jail term. It is understood that Ramesh failed to pay the fine. Ramesh is accused of disposing 10,200,800 of MMM shares while in possession of material non-public information in relation to a proposed downgrade by the Malaysian Rating Corp. He was also found to have been in possession of material non-public info relating to MMM as a PN17 company. TechCycle Technology Malaysia is targeting to kickstart the operation of its first waste-to-energy plant in UK by end 2020. CFO Geraldine Hee Sia Wei says the plant is estimated to cost about £5 million and is expected to generate 20% of the company's net profit after it commences operations. CEO Gary Das adds that the funding for the plant will be sourced externally and the financing is now handled by its JV partner in this venture, Coalzine Generation. The plant will be located at Ellesmere Port with a capacity to produce 2 megawatts for the first 12 months. On the local front, the company says its renewable electrical energy plant project is still in the process of carrying out the environmental impact assessment. TechCycle is targeting for the local plant to contribute some 7 million ringgit per year to revenue once it is in operation.